Hi everyone, I'm Rosemary, and I'm a final year computing student at Imperial College London. Today, I'm going to talk about tips on preparing to study overseas, aka things I wish I knew and did before coming to study here in the UK. A little background about myself. I have always stayed in Hong Kong and lived with my family. So coming here to study in the UK is the first time that I'm away from home for such a long time and have to take care of myself by myself. So the first thing that I'm going to cover is some basic skills that you might want to practice before starting uni. Of course, you can learn everything on the go and maybe just search on Google how to do this, but learning beforehand really does give you a head start and a sense of comfort and security, especially when you're adjusting to a new environment. It really does take off some of the pressure and you will feel less overwhelmed. First thing, how to do laundry. Things like folding laundry and ironing a shirt. It might come in handy when you need to attend a formal event or a job interview. Cooking and preparing food. For some halls in the UK, such as the intercollegiate halls, some of the meals are included, but in most UK dormitories, it's not catered. So I'd say explore some of the healthy food that you like and learn how to prepare them, such as scrambled eggs, avocado toast, and chicken fried rice, etc. Do keep in mind that for some of the popular food that we love to eat in Hong Kong, it's really hard to get in London. For example, shiitake mushrooms and the thin-cut hot beef. You might need to go to an Oriental supermarket or Chinatown to get them. Also want to stress that you want to put nutritious food in your body. Now that you have the freedom to choose what to eat for every meal, and you can eat whatever you want, however, it's a large responsibility. I remember in first year, I ate a lot of ice cream and pizza as I was never able to do that when I was eating healthy with my family. As a result, I gained a lot of weight and I was deficient in vitamin D, which my immunity declined, and I was ill for a long time, unable to recover. To get an insight on the ingredients that you can find in UK supermarkets, you can visit their online shopping portal. Some common UK supermarkets are Tesco, Sainsbury's, Co-op, Morrison's, and Waitrose. On a side note, the grocery delivery system in the UK is pretty mature and complete. The minimum order is as low as £15 and generally £40. My flatmates and I use grocery delivery and it is really convenient, especially during COVID. Moving on, I'll talk about personal finance. When I first started uni, I carried cash from Hong Kong for my personal expenses, but there are many smarter ways of making international transfers, such as PayPal and Revolut Bank, and you can do it with not a lot of extra charges. Some of the popular traditional banks here are Barclays, HSBC, Lloyds, and Santander's. You can pretty much open a basic student debit account with no cost. It would be a good idea to do it as soon as possible, as you can obtain a proof of address from that, and you can use the debit account to apply for other things, such as a mobile plan. On top of that, you can also register an account in a virtual bank, which is also really popular here, such as Starling and Monzo. For those banks, you can probably start applying even before you come here because the only verification documents needed are the address and BRP or passport for identification. You can even start using them before you receive the actual card, as they allow you to add the virtual card to a virtual wallet such as Apple Pay. Contactless payment is prevalent in the UK, accepted by almost everywhere. So you can even use the contactless card for paying for train or bus fares instead of using an Oyster card as they charge the same. So I don't really carry a physical wallet around anymore. I just do all the transactions on my phone especially when theft is quite common in London, so one less thing to worry about. Lastly, I just want to cover some miscellaneous things, such as only bring the minimal set of items that you need for survival, because most of the time, the things that you own will only go up and not down. And it's gonna be a hassle when you have to move out if you bring too much in the first place. Also, you can buy most of the household items from Argos, IKEA, Amazon, and Wilko. So it's really not worth the effort to carry them all the way from Hong Kong. And they're actually cheaper in the UK, I think. Oh, and UK is really dry compared to Hong Kong. It took me a few months for my tropical build to adjust to the dry climate here. So I'd say for girls, definitely bring your favorite moisturizer and maybe hair conditioner. Last but not least, be mentally prepared for the new chapter of your life. You're going to be on your own, and there's gonna be drastic changes in your life. Focus on yourself before you get there. Read books that help with your personal growth. Try to learn more about yourself. Eat all the favorite food that you love. Char siu, dim sum, and maybe even go to karaoke. But once you get there, really try to embrace the changes. You're going to meet people from countries that you have never heard before and try a lot of new things. They might be extremely different and overwhelming, but that's what makes the journey interesting, right? This is the end of the sharing that I have for today. I hope some of the tips helped, and I wish you all the best in the journey ahead. Bye!